It's a football Saturday in the SEC. Here is the starting lineup. The man with the golden voice, sports savant, Keefer. One of Birmingham's all-time most multi-talented, iconic broadcasters, Tony Curry. Four-time champion Paul Feinbaum show caller contributor, the legend. The illustrious First Lady of SEC football, Terry Quillian. Award-winning national sports handicapper from Las Vegas, Keefer. And now, let's talk football.
Welcome back to another riveting starting lineup right here on ABC 3340. We're into week 5. We got Jalen Milroe right now. He's odds on to win a Heisman. We got UNLV in the top 25 for the first time. And Alabama is number 1 for the first time in 2 years. And for the 141st time in their history, we are joined by, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Kip Keefer. And, of course, our good friend Kai Gregory from Southern Precision Staffing and K4 Wins. We were doing so well, guys, last year. And it was right after Kai came on the show and went 9-0. You can look it up. Watch our YouTube.
That's his new middle name, by the way.
And we were, I think you and I went like undefeated for 6 or 7 weeks.
We had a really good run.
It was silly crazy. So we decided to put all of our stuff up on our website. It's called K4 Wins. And Kai's going to tell us more about it because our numbers are killer. They're awesome.
Absolutely incredible. Last week, Saturday 8-4, Sunday 7-0-1, Monday 2-1, weekend 17-5-1. Last week 26-9-3. Year to date 90-49-4, 64% winning clip. K4wins.com.
Why am I not winning more cash?
And we do a podcast. We do a podcast every week to,
we're doing a podcast
to kind of preview the weekends.
You can hear that on Tony Curry Radio, the TKR app, about 4 or 5 times every Friday night and Saturday. And, of course, also on our YouTube channel, K4wins.com. Check out the website. It's free. You can check out all of our plays. And, of course, also on that, Keefer, who gives heaters, of course, his best bets from the desert. His plays are up on that site as well. A lot of people are like, who you guys like? And I'm like, dude, if I have to write down everyone's plays from the 16 of us, it'll take me 3 pages and I'll be here all morning. So make sure you go to K4wins.com and check out our site. What do we got this weekend, man?
It's going to be awesome. We've got marquee games. It's kind of an interesting week. Some of the marquee games, I'm zooming in on the SEC. Almost thought about including Michigan and Washington, the rematch for the national championship, but both teams are pretty mediocre. So let's get a look at the marquee matchups this week, starting with the Georgia Bulldogs on the mend, hosting the Auburn Tigers for homecoming. Maybe they saw something coming that Auburn fans didn't see. Yeah. You got Alabama on the road at Vandy, who used to be a laugher, but Vandy has done some pretty serious damage so far this year. That might be interesting. We got Tennessee, Kai's team, on the road again, this time against the Arkansas Razorbacks. A lot of great matchups in the SEC. That's how we're going to zone in terms of our marquees this week. Starting with the Georgia Bulldogs trying to bounce back from that emotional loss at Alabama. They will host Auburn, who's got to find some kind of formula to salvage their season. I don't think this is a great place to start. Also, Alabama on the road at Vanderbilt, who's become a pretty credible team all of a sudden in a blink of an eye. We've got games with the Tennessee Volunteers, Kai's team. They're on the road at Arkansas. The Razorbacks have been feisty. And we wrap it up with probably one of the most intriguing matchups of the week. It is the Texas A&M Aggies hosting the Missouri Tigers in a really key game in the SEC. That's the marquee matchups. Tony Curry, where are you going in terms of your thoughts on these games?
That A&M Missouri game, top of the hour, that's the only top 25 matchup we have. That Auburn-Georgia game will be the second game on our slate here on ABC 3340. Listen, this is going to be one of those make-or-break games, I think, for Georgia and Auburn. Auburn sitting there, obviously they have to win this football game. They got 2 victories in the season. They're 1-10 the last 11 games against Georgia. Obviously, they're not doing very, very well. And we have to remember, too, Georgia still has Texas on. They got Ole Miss coming up. They got Tennessee coming up. So they can't screw around. They can't be wallowing in that loss last week. They got to get it done. And it's October 5th. It's the first time the Auburn Tigers have been on the road all year long. The first time on the road all year long. So I'm really going to be looking at that second ball game. The Auburn Tigers catching 24 and a hook against the Georgia Bulldogs. Guy, what do you got?
could be a very good thing for Auburn to get out of Georgia
Yes.
and get on the road. Although I'm taking Georgia and I'm laying the 24 all day long. I love Missouri at Texas A&M. I think Missouri, although they may have been overrated preseason, I think they're underrated right now. I think Texas A&M's overrated, although I do like Coach Elko quite a bit. How can you even think about taking Vandy? I think Alabama, you can take Alabama all the way up to about 30. And I know it may seem like a little bit of a homer bet, but Tennessee's the healthiest they've been even since beginning the year. I'll take Tennessee minus 13 against Arkansas all day.
All right, what do you like, Kip?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to start in Columbia, South Carolina. We already saw South Carolina play LSU right down to the wire, and apparently nobody paid any attention to that because today they are a 9.5-point underdog. I like the Gamecocks at home. This team has really impressed me. Kentucky's the real deal, and they just throttled Kentucky in Lexington. I like the Gamecocks with the points. I also am going to go to the West Coast. Tony just saw this team in person. Is probably going to think I'm crazy. But Virginia Tech is so celebrated now for their near miss at Miami. They go to Stanford. That's a weird, long road trip. Miami to Palo Alto, California. I don't know about this Virginia Tech team yet. They impressed me at Miami. Stanford's at home. I don't think they're very good, but they're a huge home dog, so I'm taking the Stanford Cardinal. And for my upset coming up later on, I've got a really good one for you too.
Since we're giving out so many great plays, we're adding a best bet this week. So
that's right. We're going to have two of them
and one dog. We've been going one and one
so
back
stay
and
tuned
forth.
for that.
It's time to separate a little bit, so we'll have.
You know what, Tony?
Game.
There's a guy that used to be about 6 foot tall. He's about 6'4" today. I don't know what happened over the weekend. But Legend, what do you got on the marquee matchups?
Oh, it's Johnny Cash. No, it ain't. It's the Legend. Hey, baby, the marquee matchup I'm looking at today ain't but one for me. It's Alabama and Vandy, baby. I don't like Georgia. I don't like Auburn. I don't like Florida. I don't like Arkansas. I don't like none of them but Alabama, baby. You know what time it is. The marquee matchup ain't really a marquee matchup. And I'll tell you why later.
This Saturday, the Auburn Tigers come to Athens, Georgia to meet up with the number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. With both teams coming in off losses, this would normally be considered a marquee matchup. But here in the South, we celebrate our history. And since this is the Deep South's oldest rivalry, it's still an important game. It was first played in 1892, and do you know that these teams have played every year with only 4 exceptions? One in the late 1800s when, due to injuries, Georgia disbanded their team. Twice during World War I it was not played, and once during World War II. Other than that, it's been every year. Now, this weekend is going to be interesting also in that Georgia is a 23.5-point favorite. I don't know that the Georgia fans are feeling quite that confident after last weekend, but the Auburn fans may be even less confident. As one Auburn fan put it, we're about to go into a stadium full of pissed off players with a crowd full of barking fans. You couldn't pay me to go to Athens this weekend. Well, we'll see what happens. Now, out to our man in the desert, Case Keefer.
I know this week's set of games may not look like much compared to last week's blockbuster slate or even next week's schedule of primetime showdowns, but tread lightly. Be careful. If I was forced to make a betting pick on each of these marquee games, and I do at LasVegasSun.com, where my college football by the odds column is 140, 103, and 3, picking every football bowl subdivision game on the year, I'm taking every one of these underdogs with the points this week. Doesn't necessarily mean I'd bet them all, but I do think there could be some upheaval. If you're going to pin me down and make me take one out of this sets of games, gives me Arkansas plus 13.5 at least for a nibble. If this gets to 14, then make it a full-fledged bite. I think if the Razorbacks can just calm down a little bit, stop making so many mistakes, they can give the Volunteers some real trouble.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Oh, welcome to the Legend Cave, baby, where few men have ever stood. Ronnie Van Zant, Elvis Presley, Joe Namath, Kid Stabler, Monty Bauer, and the great Keefer. How you doing, Keefer? How you doing, bro?
I'm still alive after my whirlwind weekend in Tuscaloosa. It was awesome.
And hey, let me say something to you, Georgia. Daddy's home. Daddy's home, Georgia. That's right. Daddy's home. Hey, we got a special guest coming up in a few minutes. Keefer gonna come here. But man, Alabama put the throttle down in the first half and like the lost their brakes in the second half. Keefer, you was there. You seen it in person. What happened?
Kalen DeBoer outcoached Kirby Smart big time. He had 2 weeks to get ready. Kirby Smart had 2 weeks. Kalen DeBoer put in new looks, brand new wrinkles. Georgia was not prepared for it. Alabama slugged them in the mouth, and Georgia staggered. Give the Dogs credit. They made a big run, but at the end, the most scintillating player in America made the play that put the Tide over the top.
Oh, we got a special guest coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Look who it is. It's the Georgia Dynasty. The Georgia Dynasty has arrived. A special guest, the Georgia Dynasty. There it goes right there, baby. Give me back Almighty Byron with the pass. 1-9, Georgia against Alabama in the last 10. Talking about you, the standard? You can't beat me. How you the standard? What do you believe about that, Keefer? I whooped you 9 out of 10 times in wrestling in high school. How could you say you better than me, Keefer?
Well, I tell you what, Alabama.
I didn't mean to spit on you, Keefer. Let's get that hair out.
Hey,
get that hair out.
Probably sticking out a little anyway. Alabama has proven that head-to-head with Georgia that they've got their number right now, and anybody who denies that just is not looking at reality.
I want to give a shout out to David Legend and all the Walker County guys. I know y'all was celebrating last week. Thanks for supporting the show. Man, Keefer, we got Vanderbilt today. You know, they got rat traps all around Tuscaloosa reminding the players not to eat the rat poison. Does Alabama overlook this thing today, Keefer?
Well, this Diego Pavia is the real deal. This guy was a transfer from New Mexico State. This guy has turned Vanderbilt away. They're not Vanderbilt anymore. They're actually a legitimate football team. They played their guts out at Missouri and almost pulled the upset. But this Tide team's on a roll and has so many big home run hitting weapons. I think it'll be a decent game, but I don't see any way the Commodores pull off the miracle.
Oh, I like the Keefer. We're coming for you, Vandy. You know we don't play. Every game is a big game. Ryan Williams, you're looking like Lynn Swan out there, baby. We love it. Keefer, we got to get out of here, man. I love you. Glad you enjoyed. You and Miss Terry, the First Lady, had a great time.
We did.
Down there on Holy Land. Remember, it's just a game. Don't be like Keefer and the legend.
Sports Insane.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Man, we have some of the coolest clients right here on the starting lineup. And of course, one of them, Kai Gregg, a good friend of mine. I've known him for 30 years. Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828, where your word, your handshake still means something. They're right here in Hoover, Alabama, serving the United States of America. They do fantastic work. And of course, Kai's always welcome to come back, particularly when it goes 9-0. Spy for Rent, another one of our great sponsors, Spy, the number 4rent.com, for surveillance, for divorces, for any time you need a private investigator, a Magnum PI, check out Spy for Rent. They're fantastic. One of our brand new sponsors from Expert Realty, Teresa Autry. She's fantastic. 294-4210, 294-4210. She is a broker in the business for over 30 years. You see how much expertise we have on the staff here? We don't mess around, man. We get the experts up here telling you about everything. In a particular case, it's about the mortgage business in Woodhouse Day Spa. We love ourselves some Stuart Rowe, man. He'll be joining us here in the next couple of weeks. Loves some football. He's down in New Orleans right now, one of his other stores. Stuart Rome, Woodhouse Day Spa, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Outstanding. I hope you caught our show this morning on Jocks 94.5. Kip and Terry Game Time. We had an extraordinary weekend last weekend doing our shows here, and going around the campus at Tuscaloosa and to the Alabama-Georgia game was just phenomenal. But catch our show every Saturday, 8 to 10, and then on Sunday, our staple program, our 8th straight year of the morning after from 9 to 11. Kip Keefer, Terry Quillian there as well. I'm excited today, Tony. Terry's got our brand new segment Terry's Coach's Corner is going to debut in just a moment. It's going to be fantastic. We've got a great lineup all day long, and of course, you can catch all of our shows on KQShows.com. KQShows.com, a link to everything we do.
Before too long, we're all going to need our own room.
I know.
Terry's got her corner and Legend's got his cave. What
Yeah.
are you going to have? we'll have to get into something here in the starting lineup.
Absolutely.
So in the Coach's Corner this week, we have Hugh Freeze. Gosh, I feel like groaning just saying Hugh Freeze. And part of that is the way Hugh looks in his post-game press conference on Saturday and then in his big press conference on Monday. He has the most dejected hangdog look. One Auburn fan described the way he looked as, looks like Hugh's been on a 3-day bender when he walks into that press conference. I know that's not the case, but he sort of does look that way. Now, Hugh says that he's very sensitive to the criticism that he's been throwing his players under the bus. But he just can't help himself. So he starts out by saying, this is not about the players. This is not about them. They, did a wonderful job. They just didn't execute well enough. Then he goes on to say that his coaching staff put together the best game plan ever, the best game plan he'd ever seen. But the team just didn't execute well enough. He gets about 2 minutes into the press conference when he goes full bore on throwing the players under the bus by saying, I think you're all aware of what it is that we inherited. Our AD has done a marvelous job of explaining that, just as he explained that to me when I took this job. So let me get this straight, Hugh. The reason that you lead the SEC with 15 interceptions and only second nationally in the number of interceptions is because of a talent gap on your team. That's not your fault because you're only in your second year here. Just one problem, Hugh, that doesn't really hold water because 24/7 Sports ranks Auburn on the talent index at number 18. And let's see, you lost to Arkansas that's ranked number 26 and you lost to Cal that's ranked number 47. So is it really that you just don't have enough talent because you're only in your second year? And Hugh, you got an even bigger problem. Your arch nemesis, Alabama, is coached by Kalen DeBoer, who took over a Washington team that was a 4-8 team. And in 2 years, he had that team playing in the national championship. So Hugh, buck up. Auburn fans deserve better.
Hey, it's Case Keefer, assistant sports editor for Las Vegas Sun and Greenspun Media, sports betting writer, longtime sports bettor, back again for my Vegas Heaters segment where I am proud to report we are living up to the name and red hot to start the year on college football picks in this segment. 12-8, you throw in the Monday Night Football bonus bets I've been giving. That improves all the way to 16-9. Throw everything on the show together that I've given 22-13 on the year. And that's not even what I'm most excited about. As I alluded to in the first segment, 37 games above 500 in my college football by the odds segment. And right before this show transitioned, if you remember, the last thing I parted with was showing you my Heisman Trophy portfolio, or at least describing it. And let's just say last week was a good week if, like me, you took nice prices on Jalen Milroe and Travis Hunter. I wish they just had the Heisman Trophy voting now and we'd be making a windfall, but it's not that way. We got to keep going with the winners. We're going to go again this week with 3 college football plays followed by a Monday Night Football bonus. I had to kind of force the theme this week, but the theme we are going with are old friends or teams that I just can't quit. All 3 of these sides we featured on the segment before. Only the last one came through for me. The first 2 lost, but I'm going to give them another shot this week. We are going to Louisville, the venue formerly known as Papa John Stadium, where Louisville is hosting SMU. I like SMU getting the 7. Look, the Mustangs let me down a bunch to start the season when I was backing them, and they were trying to pry something out of Preston Stone that unfortunately wasn't there anymore. He wasn't the same. Their quarterback that led them to the AAC title last year and got hurt hasn't been the same, but now they benched him. They put in Kevin Jennings, and it has been nothing but an uptick. This offense looks back to normal. I think from a talent standpoint, this is a really close game. Louisville on a tough spot coming off of that loss to Notre Dame last week. I think 7 is too much. Louisville a rightful favorite, but give me SMU plus 7. Now we go from a road underdog to a home underdog, and I hate that I have to bet this team, but as I mentioned in this column, I'm taking them every week. week. I just keep seeing value. It's let me down more times than not, but I have to go back to chomp the Florida Gators. Now, this has been ping-ponging between 2.5 and 3 all week, them hosting UCF. I say wait and get a 3. I am taking Florida plus 3 against UCF. All UCF can really do is run the ball, and I don't hate Florida's rush defense as much as I hate their pass rush and some other things they're struggling with. Had a bye week last week. If the swamp counts for anything, if home field advantage matters at all, they should not be getting 3 points in this game. I think they're probably overall roster quality a little bit better than UCF, so Florida plus 3. Lastly, Old Reliable. This team has nothing to apologize for. I've been betting them every week. I think each of the last 3 weeks they've come through for me. We're going to do it again here. Texas Tech plus 6.5 at Arizona. Arizona is a team that is just high variance. I like taking them when they're an underdog. I was on them last week at Utah, but they can just as easily make a bunch of mistakes. Noah Fafita is a great quarterback, but a little careless with the ball. I think maybe Texas Tech snags a couple turnovers. They have been undervalued since a bad start to the season, and I think that needs to stop. I think this is a good team. Plus 6.5, too much, kind of in the vein of SMU. I don't expect them to win outright, but I do think this will be close in either team's game at the end. So SMU plus 7. We've got Florida plus 3. And Texas Tech plus 6.5 for the Monday Night Football game. I hate betting against the Chiefs every week, but I got to do it. Their running backs and receivers are just decimated. Probably the worst group in the league. Give me New Orleans plus 5.5. Best number right now. Take this all the way down to 4.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Each year, significant funding from entertainment dollars generated at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino and distributed by the Birmingham Racing Commission provides significant revenue to some of our community's most vital resources. And one of those exemplary institutions is historic Miles College, a true foundational pillar of academic opportunities and excellence. Recognized as among America's most outstanding HBCU institutions, Miles College, an annual statutory recipient of funding from the Racing Commission, utilizes those proceeds to assist in providing invaluable education and resources in a variety of fields of study. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, paying off for Alabama.
I'll get us started again here with the best bets and upset segment, where this week we are giving you 2 best bets, 1 outright upset, and all my picks are coming from here in the West. The Mountain West Conference, a league I've covered more than any other, has a special place in my heart. Hate to see it deteriorating, not going to be the same anymore, but one last tribute to the Mountain West, starting with the outright upset. Give me Hawaii over San Diego State. I think the wrong team might be favored here. Hawaii has more playmakers, more talented, more experienced. I like the Warriors. Another ugly underdog, Colorado State plus 14 at Oregon State. The Rams have been terrible to start the season, but going into the year, I rated them higher than Oregon State. A bye week, I think Colorado State's going to have a little bit together. This is way too many points. And so far on the show, I think I've given 7 straight underdogs, so I got to give one favorite. Boise State is worth the hype. Minus 25.5 against Utah State, one of the worst teams in the nation. I don't mind laying that at all, so Boise State minus 25.5, my last best bet. Now let's go to Legend.
Oh, my best bet and my dog of the week right here. I'm 4-0 the last 2 weeks. Legend's on fire, baby. My dog of the day. Hey, I got to ride with my fella that said it a while back. I like the Missouri Tigers. Anytime you get a top 10 team as a dog, I'm in, and A&M's shaky. For my 2 best bets of the day, I agree with the great Keefer. That Keeper, I tell that Keeper something else. Hey, I like South Carolina plus the 9. Hey, and I love Cal Bears plus 10 playing the Hurricanes. Don't be surprised if that hurricane turns into a tropical depression, baby.
Feel the winning vibes at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where every step you take leads to excitement.
Bring on the good times. You don't want to miss this.
Top-notch games and a vibrant atmosphere. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the place to be. Another incredible win.
Where the winning never stops.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino. You can be a winner too.
Another one of those weird matchups, this time in the Big Ten, Washington, Michigan in the Big Ten. Who would have thunk it? Washington has played absolutely nobody. Weber State, Eastern Michigan, Northwestern, Rutgers. At least Michigan's played some folks. They played USC, they played Texas, they played Minnesota. But they're the number 10 team in the country. Is Michigan really the top 10 team in the country? We'll find out this weekend. By the way, they're 0-5 on over-unders. Everything's going under. I think this is going to be a mud bath. I think it's going to be an ugly game. They're catching 2.5, and that's just what I need. The Warren kid, of course, when they're in the pocket, 2 touchdowns, 6 picks. The Orgy kid is a dual guy. I think they're going to be going more with a Warren kid than they are with that. So I'm going to take Michigan as my big dog of the week plus 2.5. My 2 plays, Vanderbilt, Alabama over the 55. Vanderbilt's scoring 37 points a ball game. I know Bama's only giving up 15. I like this Diego Pavia. This kid is unbelievable. Man. 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. He's a dual guy. He's averaging 73 yards on the ground. He can throw the football. I think he at least gets 14 against that Bama defense. That should make it go way over the 55 because I think Bama's going to put up a 40 spot. And I'm going to take those Louisville Cardinals at home, -7. I like Jeff Brahman. I think he's doing a fantastic job. He's now 13-5 all-time at Louisville in 4 seasons. They're doing wonderful. SMU 4-8 against the spread the last 12 against Louisville. I think the Louisville Cardinals are going to get inside that touchdown. I think they're going to go ahead and cover the 7 points. That's what I like. Louisville -7, Alabama over 55, and the dog, woof, Michigan plus 2.5. Kai, who you got?
Lots of games I really like this week. I think I'm going to go out to the West Coast, though. I'm going to take Boise State's team total over 44.
Yeah.
The way they've been playing with Ashton Genty, 845 yards, 13 touchdowns already. Absolutely
Insane.
love it. Some games I like, but I'm not going to play. Navy -10, James Madison over that 48. The other best bet's going to be Clemson -14 against a horrendous FSU team. And my upset special is going to be Missouri plus the 2.5. Get them at 3. Sprinkle some on the money line. Have a lot of fun.
There you go.
Well, Kai, I'm right with you on the upset. I kind of teased that earlier. I think Missouri, it's insane to me that they're an underdog in this game. They're playing Texas A&M, who's been okay, but nothing spectacular. I know the games at College Station, but I'm going to do the Tony Curry invented this concept. I'm going to do the double dip this week. I'm going to take Missouri as my upset and as one of my best bets.
Nice.
So I'm doing the Casino Royale double down on that one, and I already told you in the open, South Carolina plus 9.5. Give me them points. I like that one too.
Speaking of the Gamecocks, there'll be the early game next week right here on ABC 3340. It's Alabama, South Carolina, 11 o'clock right here on ABC 3340 today. We got Tennessee, Arkansas later on tonight. Auburn, Georgia, the middle game, and of course, coming up at the top of the hour, let's get it on. Missouri A&M right here on the starting lineup.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino turns dreams into reality. Like Roger M., who just won over $51,000. And Rebecca, celebrating a life-changing jackpot of $160,000. You could be the next to dance the Icky Shuffle with a big win.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Don't miss your chance to be our next big winner at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Each year, significant funding from entertainment dollars generated at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino and distributed by the Birmingham Racing Commission provides significant revenue to some of our community's most vital resources. And one of those exemplary institutions is historic Miles College, a true foundational pillar of academic opportunities and excellence, recognized as among America's most outstanding HBCU institutions. Miles College, an annual statutory recipient of funding from the Racing Commission, utilizes those proceeds to assist in providing invaluable education and resources in a variety of fields of study. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, paying off for Alabama.